I'm going to talk right now about E units. That's this thing right here. You've probably seen the little lever sticking out the side of your on the top of your engine like this, and that causes the train to reverse. I'm going to take one of these apart while it's connected to a steam engine, clean it, and put it back together in the video that I just did, which I'm going to tag on the end of this video. But right now I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you some of these E units and show you the pages in the Lionel Service manual. So if you need an E unit, you can figure out which ones you need. All right. Now the first of the E units, this is the pre-war E unit. See how it has like a sheet metal back here? All right. And these come with the sheet metal on that side or that side. And you can see that here with the post-war ones with the heavier loads. Both of these have the pawls on the same side, but they're assembled different. See? All right. So that this is on one side and this is on the other. Let me flip this and I'll show you downward. So these are the two that I was just showing you. This is the pre-war one that's used on Lionel standard gauge steam engines after 1933, and it's also used on all of the O gauge engines. And then they also had an E unit that would have been like this one. See, this has the lever down, and this was used in the City of Portland, City of Denver, Flying Yankee, the streamliners. So the lever's hidden. You had to reach up in underneath to flip it. And it probably would have had a longer level like this one. This is this long lever like this. The straight one is from the 622 type switchers. If it's bent a little bit, it's out of an early Alco. And then later they replaced both of them with the long one that was in the F3s. And it's basically the same as this. This E unit right here, you can see the drum's broken in there. See? And the way this works, these have two wires that are the same color. They go to brushes. A wire that's on here that goes to the coil and down into the finger assembly. That's the wire to the center rail. And then this wire here, this other black wire, it goes to the fields. All right, and I can show you what those look like with these parts here. These are actual Lionel parts. Here's the lower one. Original Lionel factory replacement parts from 1978. This would go in the lower one down here. And then you have the other one has more fingers on it. These are just those. These have 3 wires on it. So these have 3. These are replacements, again from the 1970s. And this would have the one red wire would be the wire to the power center rail. The one all the way over goes to the field, and the one in the middle goes to a brush. So these is what you would get if you order replacement parts in the 70s, and you'd get drums that look like this. The drums were made with whatever color plastic that they had, and there's no difference with them. This is just what this guy Richard Corser in New York got when he ordered the stuff from whoever mailed them to him. There's no He bought them from Mr. Cornwell in Illinois. Um, and then we'll put this away. So in the video that I'm going to actually do one of these that's connected to a locomotive. Basically, I'm opening it and then cleaning that by using one of these. So this shows you how quick this can be. This is a broken E-unit drum. Make sure all the parts are out. Wipe these fingers real good. He's got a little bit of dirt on them. Take the drum. This drum doesn't need to be cleaned because it's brand new. Never oil this. See this right here? Never oil this plunger because it'll just attract dirt. That's this right here going up and down in there. It'll just attract dirt, and then as soon as you get the dirt on it, it'll start sticking. So this goes in. See how these are? The teeth? Can you see these teeth? These teeth go so the ball collects it. So this goes in here like this. It's hard to put it in while I'm showing it to you. All right, and it just falls in there like that. This curved piece goes into here so you can manipulate them. Come on. And when we did the one that was connected to the engine, and it was just bam, right in. Now, doesn't want to. Make it a little tighter. And that's it. See? But we didn't put this on. So what I got to do is put this on. And the way I do it is I stick it in here, making sure that a finger is on each side. And I got this. Okay, there it is. Now they're lined up right. And I make sure with this that there's a finger on each side of this tooth. All right, and I slide it into one side and kind of squeeze it on down or rock it down in there. See, I'm getting it to go in here. And then I squeeze it back together again. And now the drum is out. And hold this with this one. The drum break. It'd suck if this drum broke. Let me start over. Alright, to put this in there, I'm going to take this, line this up, I'm going to squeeze it a little bit with my channel locks. That way I can get this to go in. Now I want to put it so that this tooth lines up with that. Squeeze it to make it a little tighter, and then guide this down into this hole. And now it's in this piece. All four of these tabs, the pickups, are flat on there. This goes in here. And I'm gonna put this so that both of those are in contact with the drum. Slide this in. Just kind of rock it down in there. And then the drum comes out. Yeah, you can get them perfect sometimes, and then other times it's just not working, and it's not working, and this is what you're going to go through. See, it would have been easier if Lionel had made this so that there was a shaft, and you'd stick it in there and then put the shaft through it. Let's try again. This goes right here like that. All right, and we're going to take this and put this right here. Push this drum up. There's that pin. You see this? And you just got to put this right there. And of course, I'm too close. I got to be out to the end of the channel lock so I get the pressure on it. And once you get everything lined up, you squeeze it good. And there it is. See? Now it's working. It just, sometimes it's difficult. Now, one other thing, and I'll show you a whole video of me doing fixing the train or fixing the E unit in a steam engine in a minute. This E unit, this is actually a late Lionel E unit. This one from probably a 2029 steam engine or something. But it's late. It's got a Phillips head screw in it. But I talk about how if this is loose, and see this is loose. It's not sticking or anything. And instead of trying to push this in, this is riveted to this. And when you close this, it creates ground for the coil, right? Because the whole structure of this is ground. And then power comes into this block right here. But anyway, the way to fix this isn't to try pushing on this or beating on this rivet, because the other side of it in there, they'll just move out of the way. The way to fix this is to take a toothpick, right? And let me switch this. You take a toothpick and you see this, you pry this out right here. Now, I have a whole bunch of we used to have a whole bunch of interesting dental things. So what you want to do is you want to pry this out right here. Stick something in there, a screwdriver will work. So you can stick a screwdriver down in here, pry this out. Just make some room in there, and then jam a toothpick right down in there. And it's easier to do this if it's connected to an engine. And then with that in there, see this? Now it sticks. See that? I could pull this out and it's loose again. But if I stick this down in here, obviously I'd stick it in there and then break it off. It tightens that right up. See? And you break that off. And that's a simple, easy repair. All right, the rest of this video is going to be me taking one of these Lionel number 100-25, I believe it is. It's the E unit out of a steam engine, and it's connected to an E unit or connected to an engine. And I'm going to take it apart, clean it, put it back together again, just like I just did. But I'm going to do it connected to an engine, show you how to do it. So keep watching, and I'll show you more of it. This is in nice shape, really. See how this goes up and down? That's that bellows. This lays in here like this. And then the shell holds this together down here, so when you push here, it goes up. And that's one of the things that you'll see with these is there's so much smoke pellets been put in here that it runs down inside here and this sticks. But this is all right. I'll do a whole video on how to fix smoke units. Well, this has got two wires. This side right here on the E unit, this goes down to the rollers. All right, see that's over here. This other side is ground. So when you push that, the lever over, that makes ground. This tab is for power. And I'm going to unsolder these wires from here so that they don't interfere with the E unit as I'm messing with it. Because I want to get in and clean this. Now this is the E unit. And the way the E unit works, let me get it out and you can see it. Is there's one wire coming off of the field. So the ground goes into the field. That's these windings here. One wire comes off the field, goes to the E unit. two wires come off of the E unit, go back to here, and then you also have the power unit, or the power, which is this small wire. This wire right here is coming up from the center rollers going to here, so the coil, but it's also coming down here and connecting to a contact in here that energizes these two, right? The brush comes off of here, these two are there, there's a brush coming off of these two pickups down here, and then the one pickup, so you have these two are brush, or these two are plus, this is a brush, and this one is the ground. So they set up and it changes and alternates. That's how they alternate. But with this, you can see that this E unit is very dirty in here. Right now, this is not broken, and that's one of the things that happens is that these teeth that are on here, you can see this. See the teeth in here? These teeth break off. If they break off, you have to remove it. You have to remove the drum and replace it. Now, just to show you how to remove a drum and replace it, I'm going to take this one out and clean it. You could take this and spray some alcohol on it, use a Q-tip, and scrub at it a bit. On a steam engine like this, if you hold it in place, you can clean it a bit. And this is important with the E unit. When you're dealing with these E units, the best thing that you can do is learn how to do them and not be afraid of them. When I was fixing trains years and years ago, I used to do like 15 of these a week, and I was really good at it. And now, I don't think I've done one in months, but so it might be more of a hassle, and I'll edit the video so you don't have to listen to me cursing. But for the E unit, there's a tool. It's like this. There's two of them. This one's says Lionel Service, ST303 on it. This is original post-war tool. And then this one right here, which is basically the same thing but doesn't say Lionel on it, is a reproduction. And these were, I think they were like $3. You used to get in the 70s, you could buy these for $2-3 from the parts suppliers. It might be 5 or 10 now, I don't know. But with this, if you're buying these, you should get two. That's why I got two of them here. You should get two, and I'm going to show you how to use these. This thing here is you pry the E unit open with. This, and this is why you need two, is so you can manipulate the drum in there. A drum will sit right here on that. Let me show you. So when I want to open an E unit, this is the tool here, right? I just stick the tool in right here like this, and there it goes, right? And what I just did was I popped out this peening on this shaft. And what I want to do when you clean these, let me see if I can make this zoom in. Let's see. There's no. Yeah, there's no way to zoom it in anyway that I can see. Unless it's hidden back there. No. Okay. Anyway, what you're going to do is clean these contacts right here, which you can just clean them with a Q-tip. I have my fiberglass pen. You don't want to bend them. You leave them where they are. You see them? I'm just wiping them quickly with this. Lionel suggests that you use an emery board, so you could stick an emery board in there. Not that one, but if you had one, you could stick an emery board in there and do it. That's about it. And one thing that you do not want to do is oil the plunger. If you do that, it's going to end up attracting dirt and it's going to stick. Just make sure that it's moving up and down. This is the drum right here, right? It goes in so that the pawl hits it. You don't want to put it in upside down. I've done that a few times. That's how you get good at putting them in. It's when you have to put them in more than once. Now with this is just an old Scotch-Brite pad that I have. It's not working. Let's see if I can get a brown one. There's a white one. It's clean. You just clean that up. Needs more than what I got. I should have brown Scotch. Oh, here's green. The Scotch-Brite pads, different colors are different coarseness. The white is the finest. The green is the roughest. So see, that works much better to clean this. You don't want to use chemicals to clean this, although you could put alcohol on it or that. You don't want to use Brasso or something because that'll leave residue. Just clean this as well as you can. Right, if you were going to replace this drum because yours was broken, you would buy the drum. You would skip this part where I'm cleaning it because it would be clean. You might want to wipe it down a little, but this is much cleaner. We'll put some alcohol on it. Wipe it down with my towel. All right. Very good. Now, this is how you put this back together. You got channel locks, and Lionel has a tool that'll hold this, but it's a couple $100. So this goes in here. You got a hole on each side that it goes into, and then this goes down, and the whole thing squeezes together. I'm trying to figure out how to hold this so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm putting this in one side. Doesn't want to go in. That with the teeth up like this means the paw will hit it. So we need to stick this in here like this. This would have been so much simpler if Lionel had made this so you could just put a pin through it, line it up, put a pin through it. But that's not how they figured it out. So this is the, see how I just did that? I lifted that up, but I still have this off. And I want to slide this into the hole here on the one side, work it down. I think it closed. Oh, there it is. And there it is. And then I want to make sure that the drum is in the right place. And then I need to close it, which is to put the, I got a pin, a place here where that rod goes through, and the rod's there. So I'm going to take this and put it on both sides where the rod is. The drum isn't actually in this outside hole, and then I squeeze it, and it's done. My God, I managed to do that without a single edit. Am I good or what? I haven't done one of these E units in a couple of years, and I just did that. No edits, just bam. So you guys can learn how to do that. It's not that hard. Now, let me flip this back down. So now that's back in there, and you flip it over. Watch when you're doing all this that you don't tear these wires. And I want to look, all the contacts are in good place. They're in good position. They're touching the roller or the drum. And so now this goes this way. Now, let me give you a couple of hints on E units. If you get an E unit that when you go like this, that this is loose, where it won't stay right here, right? People try putting solder on there. They beat on this right here. Now, the way that you do it is you put this like this, and then you pull this back, and you shove a toothpick down in here between this fiber board and this metal housing so that it pushes this out. And by putting a toothpick down in there, and you could use a small something else, but a toothpick or a small piece of a paper clip, something that you can jam in there that's going to push this. Let me see if I can do. That'll push this piece of fiberboard that way, and that'll end up tightening it. So that's like a hot tip on the E unit. Let me push this back down in here. Where's that screw? Right here. And then you want to watch, see this? This wire, if this wire is down below like this, and then you force it, you could end up with a short. So you want to watch that all the wires are in there. It should sit right in where you can put the screw in without having to force it. Put the screw in. Let's look at the Lionel Service manual too, because maybe you could use some of that. Look this. This is the Lionel Service manual. These are all the 3-position E units, and it goes through. I'll hold this up so if you need to see it, you can stop the video, and then don't know what causes that yellow. But basically, the only difference between the E unit is how the lever comes out. So, and then there's 2 versions. These 2 right here, the 773-300 and 671-50, 726-51. These 2, they don't have the levers. They're internal. And this one actually sits on its side like that. and it has a spring in it. With the 773, there's enough room for it to sit upright like this. In the 726 and 671, it's like this, and there's a spring inside here. But this shows you all the different E units. So if you can see all that, and then real quick, here's a wiring diagram for the E unit, schematic wiring of typical E unit installation. And that's what it looks like. Okay. Now I'm going to show you. Thanks for watching.